Welcome back to the Creator Age podcast. Something a lot of creators think about is how to juggle multiple income streams. So today, we're diving deep into that. Like, how can we make sure we're not letting our lives turn into one giant to-do list?
Right. I mean, it's the dream to have all these income streams, but it can easily become too much to handle.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's break it down. Something I call staggered growth has really been helping me, and I think it can help a lot of people listening.
Staggered growth. I like that. Tell me more.
Instead of trying to launch 5 different income streams all at once, we start with just one.
Okay.
Get it working really well, and then add another and another. Kind of we're building a staircase up to success.
I see. So it's all about building a solid foundation for each income stream before you move on to the next.
Exactly. I think that's the key to not getting overwhelmed and making sure each project is getting the attention it deserves to really flourish.
I like that. It's like learning to juggle.
Uh,
You wouldn't start with 5 balls at once. You'd start with 1, then 2, and build up your skills as you go.
a perfect analogy. And it's not even just about avoiding overwhelm. It's also about using the momentum from one successful income stream to launch the next.
I see. So, for example, someone might start with a service-based offering like coaching, build a solid client base, and then use that momentum to launch an online course.
Right. That's a great example of how staggered growth can actually work in practice.
Hmm.
Creators can use it to learn as they go, refine their processes, and build a loyal audience that trusts them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But even if we're pacing ourselves, it's still so easy to get pulled in a million directions.
It is. So how do we choose which income streams we should focus on first?
Well, I use a concept called focused priorities. Basically, instead of trying to be everything to everyone, you identify just 3 key areas that you want to focus on at any given time.
Oh, that's interesting. Just 3 things.
Yeah, just 3. It's about being intentional with our energy and our time. So many creators spread themselves too thin trying to do it all, but we need to pick 3 things and really knock them out of the park.
3 really solid things.
Okay, I like it.
Those 3 things also need to align with your long-term goals for your creative business. Think of it like a 3-legged stool.
Right.
Each leg represents a core area of your business, and when they're all strong, they all work together to provide stability and balance.
Wow, I love that analogy. So like a visual artist might choose to focus on their online shop, their monthly Patreon, and brand collaborations.
Exactly. Those 3 things work together, and they all contribute to their overall brand.
Makes so much sense. This also kind of reminds me of the rule of 3 in productivity, where we can accomplish more by focusing on just 3 key tasks each day. When we have too many things swirling around, it's easy to feel scattered.
Right? If you have too much going on, you'll never feel like you're moving in the right direction. And the human brain really wasn't designed for multitasking anyway.
So true. We are much more effective when we can focus our energy on just one thing at a time.
Totally. Okay, so we've picked our focused priorities.
Okay.
Now, how do we actually find the time to work on them? I tried so many different time management techniques, but I haven't found something that works for me.
Yeah, it's tough to find a system that really sticks. A lot of people have success with time blocking.
Time blocking, that's one I've heard of, but to me it sounds like I need to have my entire day planned out to the minute.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It doesn't have to be that rigid, though. It's more about just having a visual map of your day. Block out chunks of time for different types of work.
Oh, okay, so less about scheduling every minute and more about just generally dedicating certain times to certain tasks.
Yeah. So, for example, you could dedicate mornings to deep work on your creative projects, and then afternoons to emails and other admin tasks.
So instead of switching between writing, emails, social media, and everything else all day, I could work on those things in focused blocks of time.
Right. And there's a scientific reason this works so well. It's because it reduces context switching, which is when your brain gets tired from jumping between different tasks.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there was a name for that. I definitely experienced that, though.
Yeah, it's a real thing. By grouping similar activities together, you can stay more focused and build momentum.
It's like when I'm constantly jumping between tasks all day, I feel like I'm not making progress on anything.
Exactly. Your brain is stuck in first gear. Time blocking helps shift your brain into a higher gear. Something like the Pomodoro technique can also be helpful to get more focused. You work in 25-minute bursts and then take a 5-minute break.
I love the Pomodoro technique. I use those 5-minute breaks to do little chores or get up and stretch.
Yeah, that's great. You do need to be careful to make sure your breaks are actually restful, though.
Oh, right.
Scrolling through social media during a break might seem relaxing, but it keeps your brain in active mode.
It's like I'm giving my brain sugar instead of real downtime.
Exactly. To really recharge, we need to disconnect from our screens and allow our minds to wander.
That's so true. I need to do that more often.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's be real. Even with the best time management techniques, there are still only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, there is a limit.
And I think that's where so many creators really struggle. We try to do everything ourselves, and it's exhausting.
It is. A lot of creators think they have to do it all alone, but learning to delegate and outsource strategically is so important for growing sustainably.
I used to think outsourcing was just for big companies with lots of money, but now I realize anyone can benefit from getting a little help.
Oh, for sure. Think of it as an investment in your business and your sanity.
That's so true. In fact, I have a whole team of people who support me. A video editor, a virtual assistant, graphic designer, bookkeeper, and even a coach.
Wow, that's great. It just goes to show you how many different tasks you can actually outsource. And it's not about just offloading the boring tasks. It's about freeing up your time to focus on the work that you're best at.
Yes. And it frees up our energy to do the things that only we can do.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, I challenge you to think about one task that you could outsource.
What's one thing that is taking up way too much of your time and stopping you from focusing on your creative work?
Maybe it's social media or video editing or your bookkeeping. Just identifying that one task is the first step to getting your time and energy back.
It's about giving yourself permission to stop doing the things that don't light you up so you can focus on the things that do.
I love that. And speaking of fueling our creative fire, let's talk about unplugging and recharging.
Ah, yes.
I've been working on this a lot, and it's made a huge difference in my creativity and just how I feel overall.
It's really important. We are constantly bombarded with information and stimulation. We have to carve out time to disconnect, recharge, and reconnect with ourselves.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've started using an app that blocks social media at certain times, and it's really helped me to focus and be more present.
That's great. And it's not even just about disconnecting from work emails and social media. It's also about creating a solid morning and evening routine.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Think of it like creating a little reset for your mind and body to recharge.
I like that. I've been doing some journaling and reading in the evenings, which really helps me to wind down. And then in the mornings, I like to start my day with a workout, meditation, and some stretching.
That all sounds great.
And even if that seems like a lot, remember, it doesn't have to be complicated. Just a few minutes of mindful breathing or a walk outside can make a huge difference. Just find what works for you and make it a part of your day.
Exactly, because as creators, we aren't machines. We need to take care of ourselves so we can continue to be creative.
We have to prioritize sustainability over productivity. It's about making sure our work doesn't come at the expense of our health and happiness.
Well said. It's all about finding a sustainable rhythm for your own creative journey.
So true. And you know what's really inspiring is that so many of the successful creators we see today started small. It's a good reminder that you don't need a perfect business plan to get started. You can start small, learn as you go, and gradually scale your business.
That's right. Like that saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Exactly. You don't need all the answers. Just take that first step.
And don't be afraid to experiment and try new things along the way.
Building a successful business is not a straight line to success. It's a journey with twists and turns, ups and downs. But with the right mindset and strategies, you can navigate those challenges and create a life you love while doing work that really matters.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's a journey for sure. There's definitely no magic formula or a one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to building a business.
Right. What works for one creator might not work for someone else. That's why it's so important to just try new things and be willing to change your plans if something's not working.
Absolutely. And you don't have to figure it all out by yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There are tons of amazing resources for creators these days. Things like online communities, courses, mentorships.
It's true, there's so much support available.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to reach out and learn from other people who have already done it.
Speaking of learning from others, I feel like one income stream that gets overlooked a lot is affiliate marketing.
Oh, that's a good one, especially for creators who are just starting out.
Yeah, it's a great way to start making money from your audience without having to create your own products.
Right. You're basically just recommending products or services that you actually love and use. Then you get a commission if your followers buy through your link.
Exactly. It's like a win-win-win for everybody.
How so?
Well, your audience wins because they get access to things that you recommend and that you've already vetted for them. The company wins because they get new customers. And of course, you win because you make some money.
Yeah, it's a good deal. And the best part is you can just integrate it into your existing content.
Right. If you're already writing blog posts or making videos, you can easily add affiliate links without having to do a ton of extra work.
It can be a really passive way to make money, which is awesome. But you do still have to be thoughtful about it. Make sure the products or services you're promoting actually fit with your audience.
Yeah, for sure. It has to feel genuine.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, we've been talking about building a sustainable creator business. It's not all about just making money.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than that.
It's also about making a difference and using our creativity to do some good in the world.
It's about connecting with other people and building a community.
Yes, exactly. And finding purpose and fulfillment in your work.
That's something that you just can't buy.
It's true. I think that's actually a big part of what sets successful creators apart. It's not just about the hustle, you know, it's about having a bigger vision.
And a genuine desire to create something meaningful and impactful.
That's a good way to put it. You can tell when a creator is truly passionate about what they do.
Yeah, their passion shines through and it inspires other people.
It creates this ripple effect of positivity that goes way beyond the screen.
I love that.
Okay, so as we start to wrap up this deep dive, I want to highlight some key takeaways. You don't have to do everything all at once. Start with one income stream, get it going well, and then add more. Staggered growth.
Right. Don't try to do too much all at once.
And once you have a few income streams going, focus your energy on 3 key areas. Those are your focus priorities, and they should align with the goals you have for your business.
Okay. Focus priorities. Got it.
Find a time management system that works for you.
Time blocking, Pomodoro, whatever works.
Exactly. And schedule in regular breaks to recharge. Seriously, step away from your screens. Move your body. Let your mind wander. And don't be afraid to ask for help. You don't have to do it all alone. There are people out there who can help you with all kinds of things.
It's so much easier when you have support. Building a creator business is definitely a marathon, not a sprint.
That's the perfect way to put it. So if you're listening to this and feeling a little bit overwhelmed,
Totally understandable.
yeah, like if you're thinking there's no way I can do all this, just remember that you don't have to do everything perfectly right away.
Exactly. You don't have to be perfect. Just get started.
It's all about trying things out, experimenting, figuring out what works. And honestly, that's what makes it fun.
It really is. And also remember, you don't have to do it alone.
That's so important. There are so many incredible creators out there.
So many.
And everyone is so willing to help each other out and celebrate each other's successes.
The creator community is really amazing, especially because creating online can sometimes feel a little lonely. Connecting with other people can make a huge difference.
I agree. And the most successful creators out there, they're not doing everything themselves.
No way.
They're building teams and delegating tasks to focus on what they're best at.
Right. It's all about working smarter, not harder. You have to build a business that supports you and allows you to enjoy your life. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought. What's one tiny step you can take today to get closer to your goals?
I love that. Is it finally choosing your 3 focus priorities?
Maybe. Or is it blocking off some time to work on a project you're passionate about?
Or maybe it's reaching out to another creator to ask for help or to collaborate. Whatever that step is, no matter how small, it's a step in the right direction. And remember, every journey starts with a single step. So keep learning, keep creating, and keep thriving.
Well said.
If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe for more. And until next time, keep those creative sparks flying.